You didn't clap this time.
No. I got cream for that.
Thank goodness. Oh, look what I'm wearing!
Yes.
This is backwards for you guys, and for you guys, but... I would like to support the Goofy Geek Boutique. It says Mrs. Claus in the streets. And ho 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 in the sheets.
Whoa.
Get yours at Goofy Geek Boutique. Thanks, Shannon.
I was trying to get her to make me
She's
one.
not even on.
Oh, she's never on. I was trying to get her to make me it's Santa Claus. And it says I'm only here for the hose.
Yeah.
Hose.
Yes.
Hose.
I got it.
And no, I paused. Hose.
Ho ho.
Yeah.
Just.
It's like a long pause. It's like Santa Claus. I'm here for the, and then the other ones are way down here.
The other one's tattooed on you.
In the back.
Perfect. I guess we gotta scoot over on this one.
Okay.
I didn't want to get talent in there.
Oh, that's all right.
That is an awesome sweatshirt. Yes, highly recommend. Do you want one for Christmas? I'll get you one.
Pants and optionals when you
Right. I don't care.
Do you know when I drive by the house now, I see that big picture window, and I always just think to myself, I so want to just be like, just to be like, hello.
Any boys in here?
Any boys in
Do
here?
you want some?
Her and the dog gone. Like running out the back.
Dog.
I thought she had a dog. Didn't she buy a dog?
No.
Oh, I thought she had a puppy with her. Oh
No,
no,
it's not Mary's
there's
dog.
yeah, the German Shepherd.
Sammy has a dog.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
But you're right, because I saw the picture of the German Shepherd, and I went, oh.
Yeah, it's not her.
But I thought it was visiting longer, like she's puppy sitting for a while.
No.
You know how that works. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, can you watch it for like a month or so while
puppy, yeah.
as we travel or
Yeah.
something? No, it happened, and then they go,
Yeah.
okay, and then it's kind of your puppy for about a month or so, and then you have to like give,
I mean, she's definitely been there.
But where?
Puppy sitting for a month.
No, okay.
Jesus. What do you think?
She's like, yeah, she's had a few dogs in the house.
Woof.
That's your sister, not me.
Good
She's
for her.
like, not funny.
She got the dogs.
You get the dogs.
All right. So we're gonna talk about ghost stories today.
Yeah.
Want to tell yours?
Oh, okay. I have like a few, but I want to start with just with one. And I was promised I was never to share this, so I cannot say names.
Did they all die?
No, they're all alive, and that's
God
what
damn
I'm
it!
that's
They'll
what
never see this.
That's what I'm afraid of.
They'll
Is
never
that
see
they're-
it.
yeah, that's true.
Don't give names.
Okay, this is actually really scary because I don't believe in ghosts, and by the time this was done,
Oh, I 100% believe.
100% believed it. 100%. So we used to have this thing where we used to go over a friend's house where his mom used to make us drop the keys into the basket, and we go upstairs into like their house, into the room, and we would drink. But we couldn't leave until the next morning.
Yeah.
That was the rule.
Mhm.
So I forgot. We used to go do a bunch of stuff way before we come home and drink. So we used to go with the like down Thames Street when the bars got released and try to hit all the drunk girls. Never worked. But you know, yeah, we're 18. We're 18 now. 18, 19, thinking, you know, all that, right? So
girls want younger men.
yeah, I know. That's yeah. And we would act like we just got out of the bar. Like we would like walk with the crowd and then go into the crowd and be like, wow, that was great. Oh my God, that's so much fun. I don't know. We basically talked out of our ass. Yeah. Probably every single 20-year-old girl, 21-year-old girl would know that these 18, 19-year-old kids didn't know their ass from their elbows. And plus, we didn't stink like alcohol or even, you know. So we go through this thing and we're... so someone suggests to watch It. Now, not the new It.
Obviously.
This is way back.
The
and
new
it was on,
it.
this is how old I am, it was on VHS, and it came with 2 VHSs, so you had to put one, and then... So he says, "Oh, have you ever seen this movie?" And I said, "A little bit, like, because it was on TV." And I said, "I think I saw like an episode or whatever, but I didn't see the whole thing." He's like, "Oh, it's I've heard it's really scary." So there's just the three of us. So these are three 19-year-old young men, and so he had, this is how old I am, like a small TV, because back then not everyone had like 20 36-inch TV. You're lucky you had a little TV. It was like a 19-inch TV or 16. It was like a little.
Yeah.
And it was one of those ones where you turn the dot, like click, click, click to change the channel. Mm-hmm. So we like turn on, and so we put on the first cassette, and now it's 2:00 in the morning. 2:30. What a great
time to watch a scary movie.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of was our night though. Like we're used to the night starting on a Saturday, like at 2:00, because that's the bars would be out, and we'd be driving home, get home around 2:15ish or so. So that was normal for us. So we're sitting there, we're watching, and Georgie gets taken, and I just remember being like,
spoiler.
You don't know how. I didn't say how. I don't know. But I was really, really scared. And so the tape we're watched. So we first.
Do you like scary movies?
I do and I don't. There are some. I love my old-fashioned scary movies. I don't like the paranormal type of movies. I will tell you a funny scary movie after I tell this story. But
scary movie 1 through 4.
No. I got this one that my friend and I went
Jaws.
Drunk to the scariest movie, and we ruined it. Like people got complained. Okay, so we're sitting there, and his bedroom was set up like the bed's here, so we had like a roll. I know this sounds so stupid, like a rolling thing with a TV on it, because he had like a little brother on the other side of the room, so they used to angle the TV and move the TV sometimes. So we had it right in front of us, and he had the door like not closed tight, so it was like open like that much, like so, and now it's 2:30, 3:00 in the morning, somewhere in that time, because I know by this time half the tape shuts off, and it goes, and we have been lightly drinking because it's just the three of us, so we're not really partying and we're just kind of like sipping on our drinks, so we're not doing our normal, like when there's a party you're playing drinking games. That was our big thing, drinking games. And so I said, "Wow, do you believe in ghosts?" to one of my friends. He says, 100%. I said, "You really do?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "My grandfather died in this room." And I was like,
red flag.
And my other friend's like, "Shut up." My other friend's like, "Shut up. Shut up. It's not funny." And I'm like, and I start to laugh, like, "Come on." And my other friend's like, no. My grandfather died in this room. And I swear to God, I hear him sometimes. And my other friend's like, now he's starting to swear. Shut the fuck up. Come on. And I didn't really understand how scared my other friend was.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was weirding him out. For me, it was just, I thought he was just busting chops. Like, he goes, "Yeah, I swear to God, sometimes he comes into this room." And I said, "What makes you think he comes into this room?" I swear on both of my kids. I swear on every action figure I own in my basement. I swear to God on everything I love. I swear. He turns and he looks at the door, and the door goes, opens up to like now flush to us. So it was open only this much, so you could just kind of see it kind of open to it facing us completely. The three of us slept on that bed. We never changed the channel. The TV was on, like, with all the static, because we never changed it. The three of us slept with our knees on the bed, and the three of us being right on top of each other. Like, not on top of each other.
We all had
like
sex
shoulder. No, that definitely didn't happen.
That's why you can't tell the story.
We all slept naked. No, but we were
Stay warm.
We were literally shoulder to shoulder, and none of us. We all stopped drinking. Like our drinks were off the bed, and somehow the bed became like force field. Like it was so crazy, and I was like, if I didn't see it with my own eyes, I would have said that's a joke.
Yeah.
It was nobody came through that door. Nobody came through for the rest of the night. His mom was already in bed. His sisters and his brother was sleeping out. Like so, there was nobody home except his mom in bed and the three of us. And like it was like to this day, I can't explain it because how would he know to say it just at that time unless it was just some coincidence thing that his mom or the wind, I don't know, but to this day, I always go like if someone says something's haunted, I go, I believe it. Like I'll if you tell me something, I'll believe it, but I don't believe it. Like I just don't walk into the house and go, it's haunted. Like someone's got to tell me it's haunted, and then I'll be like, okay, I believe you. Like I believe you.
I don't need proof.
Yeah, but it's this. I mean, I don't know how to explain. I swear on everything. I swear on both my children. I swear that's the day that I said, okay, the coincidence was so. I mean, when I say the door was open here, and then every night after we would party that late at night, that I would watch that door, and that door never moved. Like I can't explain.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like Niles.
No. I 100% believe you.
No, I know, but I know people like.
There's definitely.
I am 100% am anti-ghost person. Like I was like that until I saw that today, and I was like.
No, I 100% believe they're real.
And as soon as that door opened, I mean, we're not talking about like that little. We talk about full open. The only reason why I didn't keep going was there was something there. There was something like a dresser or something. I forgot what was there, but it's something that it didn't keep opening. And I was just like, yeah, I'm done. And I remember my third friend who was like, knock it off, being like, I'm sleeping right here. Like, no, we were afraid to leave because I was the only way in and out.
True.
We didn't.
I'm jumping through the window.
I'm serious. None of us wanted. We didn't go to the bathroom until the sun came up. We literally sat there and I probably stayed up all night watching a TV because no one wanted to get out of the bed because somehow the monster was like it was that.
Yeah.
You ever get something that scares you so bad that your whole like everything in the room becomes every like ghost story you've ever heard?
Yeah.
Like if I put my foot down, something's going to grab me. Yeah. If I put my hand across, something's going to grab me. The floor is going to eat me. Like something's going to jump out of the closet. Like that night, I felt like because that door just opened, basically opened more than halfway. Yeah. Like it opened all the way up, except that it didn't touch the wall. Like it didn't because something was there. If something wasn't there, I convinced the door would have opened all the way. And I was like, nope. We literally sat there the whole time. You
know, I suggested this topic, but I have a lot of anxiety right now. I didn't think I had a ghost story until, like, I just remembered one. I had one recently.
Did you?
Yeah. So, I was at the salon. I think I told it on this podcast, but...
I don't remember.
I was at the salon, and I have this customer who... She's, like, one of my good friends, and she's like, oh, yeah, my house is haunted. Like, they follow me everywhere. Like, in the middle of the night, she is a baby, so she has, like, toys and stuff.
Right.
But you can just see, like, the ball roll out of nowhere, and, like, toys will just turn on in the middle of the night, and all those different things. And I was like, cool. She's like, yeah, sometimes they follow me places. I'm like, okay. Yeah, this one followed her to the salon. Yeah, it's nighttime. She's my last one. It's just me and her.
Right.
And, so we have like a waiting room area, and then off of that is Jarvis' room, which she does facials in there. And then you like walk through the hallway, and then it's my room.
Yeah. And
so the radio was on in the waiting room. It's just like a regular old fashioned radio.
Yeah.
So, and the only way to turn it off is if you unplug it. So I went to go unplug it. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to listen to this anymore. Right. I'm about to close up.
Right.
She's getting the color off of her forehead because she's had a color done.
Oh, yeah,
it stains the forehead.
Yeah.
And I, like, was going to go put it in the computer so that way we could just pay it and leave.
Right.
So I unplugged.
The trick was leave together.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that. Like, she's still getting worked on, but I'm trying to wrap everything up so when after she leaves, I'm not alone with the ghost that didn't go home with her.
Well, I already I didn't know at this time that the ghost followed her.
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah,
oh,
no.
yeah, but just her saying it. Didn't you have a moment of like?
I'm a little scared. Yeah.
Yeah, like just.
But at night, I'm scared anyways to be by myself.
Yeah,
I don't know who's outside. I don't know. Like just being.
Yeah.
A girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, gay.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Right.
Like as you know.
I'm like, I don't know who's outside. I don't know. It's
Just
not
for the
like we live
record,
in a scary
By the way, it's not a girl thing because I'm that way when I leave my parents' house to walk to my house, and we live right next to each other.
Yeah.
And there's like, what am I going? Actually, my big thing is, and not to ruin your story because I really don't want, is that one time I went to my house and there was these huge dog prints, but they were big, and I think there was a big coyote, like one of those bigger ones.
That freaks me out.
And that always scares me because I saw that in the snow.
Yeah.
So I always think like in the summer or when there's no snow, it still comes around. Right. But I don't know. I don't think so anymore. But I know I saw one crossing. Yeah. I saw one crossing a road like 7 years ago. I know it's like 7 years ago. Yeah, but just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I used to get dropped off like down the street from where I live, from the bus stop, and we had a family friend that lived right at that end, and I always gave her a hug. She was always out like when I got off. So I would always give her a hug and then walk home. Right. And one day, I went to go give her a hug, and another woman walked up, and I think she had a dog at the time. I think her dog was still alive at the time, but the woman came over and was like, "Oh, just so you know, I just saw a coyote." Like put your dog inside.
Yeah, a little dog, yeah.
It was a big dog, but it was still like a dog, you know. So I heard that and I hugged her and I ran home because I was like, what if they eat me? Like, no. I gotta walk down there.
Usually coyotes are really small, small, and they go after small prey, unless they're herd hunting, like the whole herd, and then you gotta watch out. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't want to be around them anyway.
I didn't mean to interrupt your story because I feel like that was totally. Okay. So you're shutting everything off. She's having her face kind of
she's taking the color off.
Yeah, right.
So I unplugged the radio and I still hear the station on, and I'm like,
I unplugged it.
And it's not coming from this radio.
Right.
Where is it coming from?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So then I go in, like I'm like listening around, and I go into Darby's room, and her speaker was on playing that.
Is this Ralph's daughter, Darby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Sorry, I don't know who really works with you. I just found out the girl. I'm just
throwing out names.
Like literally, just found out the girl I went to high school with worked with you, Allison. Like I had no idea she had worked with you.
Yeah. So
not that there's signs that says I work here.
She's like, bitch, why don't you know?
Yeah.
You don't follow me?
I do. I watch you all the time. I see your son. I see your daughter. I see your husband, which I went to high school also with, Jake. But you don't really have throw up like, this is me at work.
Right. Weird.
Can you imagine that? Sorry, Allison.
Anyways.
She don't watch this anyway.
So, I go into Darby's room, and her speaker is playing the same radio station that with the thing was.
Now this is let me guess, a Wi-Fi? Like you need her phone type / oh no.
So I texted her, I'm like, hey, did you happen to put this station on, like, which she would never listen to. Right. Did you happen to put this station on, like, here on accident instead of at home? And she was like, no, I haven't even been on my phone, really. And I was like, okay, cool. Fantastic.
Bitch lied to me. Darby should be like, oh yeah, sorry, I'll give me about 20 minutes.
She's too far away for it to even work anyway.
I know, but she can't even lie to you for your brain to go.
Right. I'm like, okay, yeah, it was just playing it, so I don't know what to do.
Let me guess.
Texted Karen, I'm like, you didn't happen to, like, somehow... Oh, yeah, I was freaking out. Like, my heart
sweaty
was...
palms and, like, you start to sweat all
weak,
over.
Like, spaghetti,
yeah, okay. I want to know I'm not the only idiot that does this.
Oh, yeah, no, I was freaking out. And I texted Karen, I'm like, there's no way that you, like, hooked up to her speaker and put this on, right? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay.
So now you're running in with the room with the customer.
Yes.
Like, can you tell your ghost to shut off the radio?
It's like, you brought your friend with you. That radio is playing, and it doesn't need to be playing.
Did you really?
I told her, I'm like, yeah, you brought your friend with you.
Can you tell
let's go. We gotta check out now because I gotta go.
I will say.
And I told her, I'm like, you cannot leave without me. Like, I need to walk out with you. I can't.
Now, I will say,
I love ghost stories, but it freaks me out.
okay, I will say, I love if I had a ghost friend like that. Like if they were cool and like did shit during the day, like
Let me sleep at night.
like let me sleep at night. Like be like, bro, I'll do all day, open cabinets, move shit, do whatever. I'm okay. But at night, can you just just I already got to worry about people breaking in. I got to worry about people killing and raping me, and it might be in that order. And then I'll be like, can you at least do it the other way? Yeah, like I need to be okay with I'm okay, but
leave me alone at night.
Yeah, at night, no way. I've talked about so I'll tell you the funny story. Oh God, I don't even know what year this is. It's the Blair Witch.
Okay.
Okay, did you ever see that movie?
No.
Okay.
Is it a scary movie? I can't watch ET without being freaked out. That finger is disgusting. Don't come after me.
So, we hear it's scary. My friend and I hear it's scary. So,
you hear it's scary? You haven't seen it?
No. At the time, we hear this. Like we hear it now. You got to go see this movie. It's really freaking scary. It's really scary. It's a documentary. And we're like, a documentary? How's a documentary scary? And that I like that stuff. Like documentary. Like you're going to prove to me they're ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course, unfortunately, I have to admit this is my drinking era of time. So I'm fully. I'm a little bit. I can drive. I can drive.
One more and you'd be sloshed.
I can drive. And we go.
Well, that's not saying much. You can drive a lot.
Yeah. So thanks for the attention.
Beep, beep.
So we go and we're sitting there and the show comes on and right away I am that guy that if you're doing a story, I'm you. I'm the person. Whoever it is, I'm the person. Like I automatically am that person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's a woman. I don't care if it's a child. I don't care. Like I say, what would I do if I was 9? What would I do if I was 16? Whatever it is. And I'll watch stuff and I'll go, yeah, I'm screwed or I'm dead or whatever. This movie, the whole, I'm like, these people are stupid. I was screaming. I was like, why would you do, what is going on? Like, magically, the map disappeared. I don't know what happened to the map. You just had it 2 seconds ago, bitch. What happened to it? I don't know. How are we going in a circle? I don't know. It's time to do something. They don't do anything. They actually...
I think you told me the story.
I feel like by the end of the movie, if you believed 1 ounce of that, you should have been taken to that field and put down like everybody else should. Like I felt like there's no way you could have believed that.
Yeah.
Even down to you weren't if I was in a tent and there were hands all over my tent. Okay. This story, this podcast is all because I listened to something called Let's Read ! Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable. You need to go watch it.
The one
listen
thing
to it.
I have to complain about it is that there's so many stories in one that I get confused because I don't.
You're not paying attention. Yeah.
Like, oh.
How are you here? No, because there's usually 3 stories.
But I'm used to
or you get those good ones that have 8 stories in them, for 2 hours. You can sit there and just listen to them. What happens is now I listen to the true stories.
Yeah, that's what I was listening to.
So it says true story, and what happens is people write in and they're like, "Hi, I'm going to be reading as a 34-year-old girl."
But I missed the part where they transition to a different story. Yeah. So what?
And I'll tell you right now, and this is my opinion. You guys can whatever your opinion is. All those stories right there, if they're not real, they are so totally believable. It could easily happen. And that's why I do believe them. Mm-hmm. Because they're not far-fetched of anything.
Right.
And they're always I was walking through the park. One of the ones I listened to a while ago was, so I went to college. And when I went to college, there's 2 ways to get back to my thing. One way is a short way. One way is a long way. No one says don't go the long way because you have to go through this playground that's kind of deserted, that kind of like been rotting and whatever. He forgot which way because he's only been there like once or twice. He goes the wrong way. Or he finds out in the playground there's bums and meth heads living there that start like coming out to basically
attack him.
Yeah, like they're like touching him, and he's like, and I'm like, okay, a meth head, that makes perfect. Like, there's nothing in that story that makes you think there's monsters, but they're just bad people. Like, you know, he just, and he's running for his life.
Yeah. As
these people are trying to, because it's like I think he says it ends up being like 8 or 10 people trying to grab him because it's a like an old fashioned playground, not like how we know it's like a swing set, you know, and so there's people coming after him, and I'm thinking to myself like, see.
I would have turned back after the first person.
Yeah, but you can't because once you're because he walked all the way into the middle of the playground, and then when people started coming out, it's you're running, and most of the time you're going to run where you know try to go to, not go backwards because I'm sure. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like the stories I hear, you just kind of go, oh my gosh, that can easily happen, and like my stories, like they're all like stuff that I just go, yeah.
Anyway, so what you're watching the Blair Witch.
The whole time I'm screaming, you wouldn't do that! You would turn around! What? Wait a minute, what happened to the guy? The one with the tent. I was like, that's it, I just grab a stick and start swinging. No, they come out and they run. They get out of the thing and they just run. None of them look back. Not one time does the camera look back and go, what's attacking me? And then in the middle of it, I can't believe so it was all over. I was like, can't believe what? What you can't believe? Like, you're filming a movie. They know you're there. Just like reality shows. That kills me. You ever seen that?
Reality shows.
Ice truckers. I was afraid I was going to get crushed. I was going to fall through the ice. How can you? There's 6,000 people in other cars and other cameras following you, and it shows the camera in the back of it, and you're like, and the guy sitting next to him, and he's like, I was all alone. No, you weren't. You were next to the guy that you've been talking to the whole time. Because they've been asking questions. Like, I've been driving an ice trucker for 30 years now. In 1978, I've been driving, and I've known, you're like, well, he's just talking to himself? How would he know what to say?
Right.
I hate that. He was all alone. He barely got through it. No, he wasn't. I think the camera in the car behind him probably was following him. Yeah. I hate reality shows. It just go right through me. Because I just feel like you really have to be... Like, okay, I will be honest. I feel like season 1 of any reality show is as realistic as you're going to get. And then once it goes past that, it's like, okay, we got to have a little bit more drama. Yeah. And then it becomes trash. Right. Like, it's just like... Yeah. Or I was like, oh, did you see that bear grill guy, man? He got jumped. Like, yeah, okay. He got let that he's showing you, but there's 20 people beside him in the tent that he's going to eat steak. He just ate whatever garbage he just ate, like, he's not really dying of thirst out there. Because he's always looking pretty good. Right. The bee sting was probably the closest thing, and I was like, well, he got, probably wasn't planned to, and he got stung by a bee. Right. Yeah, like... Dumbass. Yeah. My luck.
They paid the bee to sting.
But, I find reality shows, like reality, those Let's Read, the true stories, much scarier than actual scary stories.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Much scarier.
Yeah.
Because every time I've watched a movie, scary things, like, I'm good. I've watched Chucky, I've watched the Friday the 13th. It's the part that I think I get the scaredest, I guess, and I don't think it's scared is the word, is those paranormal ones, because I'm them. Mm-hmm. So I'm in my head, I'm always thinking to myself, like, well, what would I do? And I'd be like, I fucking leave the house. Like, I'd be like, I'm out. Yeah. Like, I
don't like the stalking. That really freaks me out.
That's scary too.
I used to watch Pretty Little Liars, and I had to stop watching it because I literally would be looking at everything.
Yeah, the stalkers. Because there are some guys that are
that in Riverdale.
There was one I listened to. I didn't watch Riverdale.
I know, but the first season.
It was about stalking.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I listened to one where there was a crazy guy that lived in the apartment building, and he was a stalker to someone, and one day he snapped. But people didn't know, he had been hiding knives throughout like the courtyards.
Mm-hmm.
So he was actually attacking someone by
God.
pulling out all these crazy knives that he had hidden and all. Like he had played this like, Home Alone shit. You know what I'm saying? But like for real, like, but it had all these crazy things and went to jail. And I was like, that's real. Like you just know that's real. Like that's not. I don't know. It's just some things just sound so realistic, and that to me is 1,000 times scarier. Even though I did have that night that I tell you, I would have bet $1 billion if I had it that someone crawled into bed with me that night.
Oh yeah,
that was so real. And I've read about that because I've been reading about sleeping and stuff.
Yeah.
And they talked about how a lot of Asian people or Indian people, there's a culture about like this boogeyman who sits on your chest and you can't move, and it's a sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but those people are like psychologically kind of it's story, so you ingrain it in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. And I read about other things that helped me sleep. Actually, that was my problem. It was during the lockdown. I was sleeping I got myself way out of the work all day, sleep all night. I was doing the half awake, sleep afternoon, 5 o'clock, eat dinner, wake up, and then go to sleep at like 10 and be like, until 1 o'clock, and then you're dead tired the next day, and you're like, oh, I gotta take a nap. Yeah. So it starts that cycle. Yeah. So I was reading all about it, and I was like, wow, that's scary. I couldn't even imagine that. And about, I don't know, 7 months later, I was laying there. I was looking at the clock. I know I was awake. I could tell you what time it was. I know I closed my eyes. I know that 2 minutes past that time, and I felt a hand. I swear to God, I felt a hand, and a knee go on my
backward side.
On my bed, because I have a king size bed. I sleep on this side of the bed.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I've had other people have them sleep in the middle. That I swear to God, I felt someone crawl into my bed. And I just kept waiting for someone's hand to touch my leg, and I was like, "Stay calm until you feel something touch your leg. It's not real."
Yeah.
And nothing touched my leg. I swear to God, I was like, "It's going to touch your leg." And you do that thing in your head. You're like, "Should I jump up?" No, don't move. Can I move? I don't know if I can move. Because then you're afraid to move, because if something's really there and you move, I know that sounds stupid, but you get that whole if I don't.
I'm still asleep, so that way they don't touch me.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things I learned about sleep during that. I learned that when you lay down and it's too quiet, your mind makes up sounds to fill. So I kept hearing music, and I kept being like, "What?" It was the sound of my AC. Mm-hmm. And I was making music in my head because I couldn't process and I didn't understand I didn't process it. Yeah. Your brain fills in gaps that it can't process. Right. And the object is that's the fight or flight thing in your body. So if you can't understand something, your mind makes it up. Right. Just like when you don't see people's faces, you still see people's faces.
Right.
Because your mind fills in the gap. Mm-hmm. Doesn't make sense, but it does. Yeah. Just like when you look at everything and you can make a face out of it. I forgot what it's called because this isn't about sleep, but that's a legit thing. And because I went through a period of 6 months, and this is all during the lockdown, that I swear to God there was somebody over my bed, and I'm like, there's a ghost over my bed. And then it took me a long time to realize I'm just seeing that because of the shadow it made, and I was making a body out of it because my brain. Mm-hmm. Guess what? That's what you do. Yeah. What it is actually goes back to an animal thing, that if you think you see eyes, your mind makes it so you run, so you survive, then not be scared of it, and then get eaten. So you're actually running from nothing, but that's your survival. That's your survival. Like that's your animal instinct. It's kind of like an animal hearing a noise and just running, and it'd be like the noise was a mile away from you, whatever, like, it's crazy. I had one of those sleep paralysis things a couple weeks ago. Get out of here. Did I tell you? No. Oh, I haven't seen you then. No, hello, Thanksgiving. Sorry. So I had this customer. I know there was a turkey and you thought it was me, but. I had this customer who, really, set me off one day, and,
I tried to make a joke with her, and then she didn't realize I was joking with her.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And then,
yeah, I know what
whatever.
you're talking about. Yeah.
So then that night, I had a dream.
That was that Thursday. That was our last podcast.
Okay,
before,
so then it was that night.
Yeah. But I
haven't
didn't
seen
see
you.
Yeah, right.
So I remember waking up and looking up at my ceiling fan.
Yeah.
Like I was like fully awake because I wake up in the night.
Right.
A million times, whatever.
Me too. I'm a clock looker. Like I'm always waking up.
I don't have a clock to look at.
I do.
Unless it's my phone.
Because I'm like, yes, I got 3 more hours of sleep. And it's like, why am I waking up? Just stay asleep. But it's like, oh, I only have an hour of sleep. Oh, no. Come on, sleep.
No, I wake up to turn. I wake up.
Yeah,
I
me
hear
too.
voices, whatever. So
because if you stay in one position too long at our age, we might die.
Honestly.
You wake up like, oh my God.
No, I've just always been a light sleeper, so I've just always woken up to turn or whatever. So I remember looking up at my ceiling fan, and I saw this little lizard like this big on it, and it jumped off into the bed near my feet, and I was like, oh, I don't want this on me, but I don't want to make a big deal because Kelsey's gonna make me like get rid of I have to be the one that gets up and like takes care of it or whatever.
When you say lizard,
like this,
like a chameleon sized lizard or like
this big.
Oh, so but what does it look like? Like a little chameleon? Like one of those
like
nice looking lizards, or those like bearded dragons where you're like, oh my God, don't touch! Like like guana looking like, oh my God, or like chameleon, like
I don't want to say chameleon.
No, not chameleon.
The gecko.
Gecko. Okay. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Like I just words were coming out.
So I remember. So it jumps into where my legs are. I'm like, I don't want to wake up or I don't want to get make a big deal of it because Kelsey's gonna make me get up and take care of it, and I don't want to get up right now. I want to go to bed.
Right.
Like, I know I only have a couple more hours left by the way the moon is right now. By the way the moon is.
She's like, oh.
By the brightness in the room, I only have this much time.
She has a moon dial in her room.
Fuck the clock. I want the moon.
A moon dial. She's like. It was half
but
past.
I can tell,
No, I know.
how like early it is in the morning by the light in the room.
Yeah.
But so I was like, you know what? As long as it stays near my feet, that's fine. Because I don't want to touch my face.
Yeah.
But like it stayed near my feet.
So you're not a lizard. You're not scared of it. Like you didn't dream of something you're petrified of.
I wasn't scared of it.
You don't want it in bed.
I didn't want it on me.
Right, but you weren't like how like you see spiders and you're like, yeah, I'm running out.
Yeah.
Like I saw one on TikTok where it's like spider in a car and it was like this big. I'm like, I don't understand how you're not pulling over and just being like, that's somebody else's car. Like,
set the whole thing on fire.
Like I would have just like let it just like I would have just jumped out.
Yeah.
It just rolled.
Like,
you own the car now. I left the deed in your name.
Here are the taxes over.
Well, that big? That big?
I know. Fuck that.
Bro, you like go ahead.
But then I remember waking up the next morning and I was like, is that real? Is that fake? But did you
go through your bed real? Like did you do you wake up before Kelsey?
Always.
Okay. So when you wake up, did you get out of bed and kind of like do the old like look around your room?
Yeah.
Then did you get all scared that it might be real and like under your bed, like something?
No, I had a feeling it wasn't real.
Oh, okay.
But then I looked it up. What lizards mean in your dream, and it means that to beware of danger, or like something, or like a bad person in your life. And I was like, huh.
That's why I haven't seen you in a week.
No, I think it was about that customer.
Yeah.
But she like really put me down, and like I did not like her, but whatever.
Oh no. I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, I know, because I told you that story.
That was that day, but I didn't.
But then that night,
That's crazy. But I will say, when having the bad, but there was a period that I did think I had a ghost in the house because every time I came home, when I say back door, I have a back door to the sun porch. You know, Matt. Yeah. But then I would have one from the kitchen, so I call that my back door, even though it goes to a sun porch, and it would be open all the time. I'd be like, what the hell? Little do I know, I ended up finding out since I've lived there now almost 30 years now, that I've realized that if you leave it open to a certain point or don't click it, it will just swing open. Yeah. But the longest time I thought I had a ghost. I used to leave a pack of cigarettes because the old man did die in my house, but I really haven't had any problems. There's just really bad thing for me is when I lay there and being alone, you hear a noise and that's the one thing I keep talking about. I'm thinking about getting a dog, because
Oh, you are?
yeah, because if a dog, when they get up and bark, you're like, okay, it's something.
Yeah.
When they don't move and they're just like, yeah, nothing's happening,
Yeah.
then you know you're good. And I don't need an attack dog. I just need a
something.
dog that just be like like all my dogs used to be. I used to teach them. I would knock on the wall and be like, "Who's that? Who's that?" And they would bark. And then when someone would knock on the door, they would learn to bark.
Yeah.
And so if they would hear a noise, they'd jump up and bark.
Yeah.
And so you just get that whole like, okay, this is something serious. My dog's getting up and bark. Something fell down. Something real.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing worse walking around your house at like 4:00 in the morning and like, oh God, this is it.
Yeah.
The other thing is,
but the other part of me is like, you know what? If you're gonna kill me, just fucking do it.
yeah, sometimes, yeah, like I always love the people.
Put me out of my misery.
You know what I always love? I love the whole don't go down there, don't go up there, and I bet you, I don't really know it as much as I know Ashley. I don't really know Ashley, but I'm asking her because I know she lives alone too. Like, is there moments when you hear a sound? Like when you hear a sound in your kitchen.
Yeah, I sleep with white noise now, so I don't hear it.
Like when you hear a noise,
yeah,
your first instinct is like, I gotta see what it is.
No, we're two different people.
Okay, well,
my first thing is I'll stay in here.
Well,
you come to me. I'll be lazy to the end.
She's like, just remember the order. You rape me, then kill me. Let me have a little something before you kill me. Okay. Really gonna kill me first? Come on. My thing is that like when you hear a noise. So my big thing is I always hear a noise in the middle of the night. So I'll jump up and I'll be like, okay, I have to look. Why do I have to look? Because I'm one of those type of people.
You're one of those scary movie guys that why are you looking?
But see, this is the difference between me and most people. The second I get out of bed, there's something in my there's going to be a fight. I'm not saying I'm surviving, but I'm fight. I told you this. I'm the first one dead in the horror, or I'm the last one, because I'm usually the first one to charge the guy, and then I'm like, yeah, I tried shooting him with the gun, it didn't work. Don't do that. Like I'm that guy.
Don't do that.
But I'm dead.
If you shoot a ghost, yeah.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying?
Through.
Like if I had to fight Jason, I'd be the first one dead because I'd be like, screw this. Like I'm not running around like pissing underneath the table and all scared. We're going 1-on-1, and if you win, you win. But I'm going out swinging. That's my attitude. Or I'm the last one because I'm like trying to figure out what kills the son of a bitch. Oh man, she says 100%. What's 100% that she doesn't look?
No,
she has to look. She has to.
No,
look.
I mean she probably hears things. It's probably.
Good. No, like you do. You get out of bed. Now I'm not saying you run out.
Mm-hmm.
I always kind of open the door in my bedroom.
I don't want to know.
And I look around, and the first thing I do is go to my front door. I flick out, I'll look at the light. I look. See, she looks. I knew she would.
Oh, Jake's watching. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
All right, stop. Put the porn away. My mom's on. God.
So why do I
sell it?
Why do I picture you coming out of the room with a weapon?
Not the good one though.
Not the good one. Not the one that's like solid. The one doesn't work very good. Got this at a party. That you're when you hear that noise, you go down or open your door, and I always look at my front door first and my back door. And I'm lucky I have a hallway that I can look at my back door, and I can just turn and look at my front door. Because if something's unlocked, that's rare, and if it is, I already know it's game on. Like I'm already like, oh God, I'm gonna die. Like because I'm already in my head like there could be someone here, and then all that crazy stuff goes in your head, and then you get to a point where you look down, you look down the first floor. Now you have to go to other floors. Like you have to.
This is
like in my house. Like in my house, like I go upstairs.
No.
The basement might be the last, because if it has a little latch on the basement, I'm like, they're locked downstairs, so I'm good. Like no, that's like this. Do you have that monster theory? where like the little latch saves you from anything down to the basement. Like you
I mean,
run up the
yeah.
basement. Well, see, you guys don't really have that because you have like not here, but at your dad's house have a finished basement. But I used to do that whole like because I have like a basement
Yeah.
where you turn off the light. It's when you turn off the light downstairs.
It's dark.
Oh, it's dark. Like I can't even like it's a moment where like you skip every 3 steps. Like you can't get upstairs fast enough because you're just waiting for that like touch on your leg and you're going, oh no, you didn't. Oh God, no. Like I keep waiting for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 47. I still kind of do that. Like I do that whole like one step, as many steps as I can physically do.
Which is only 2 because you're like.
That's me all stretched out perfectly. Toe to toe.
Funny the L going up.
I'm doing the splits right to the top. I'm like, sweet baby Jesus, get me up here. And the worst thing is, I have. Well, why are you going too far if I'm doing the tripod up there? I'm not getting very far. I'm just kind of slowly moving step by step up the hill. Is that what you're saying?
Also, anytime there's.
Oh yeah, I know. No. Okay, speaking of bugs. Okay, see now this is such a tangent. We're so bad at this.
I love these ghost stories. I have a ghost story to tell you after though.
Okay, we'll get back on track. Okay, as we all do, we always get a little friend in your house, and you take care of them because you put poison down or like a mouse or something. Mm-hmm. And I always see
they're useless. They don't do bugs. They just look at bugs. They just look at mice. They're like fucking useless.
What, your cats?
Yeah.
I always seem to get one in the basement a year, like, and then I put all the glue traps or the poison, unfortunately, and it's always a cute little field mouse. But if you don't take care of it, you got like a trillion. Right. Like, so it's like, hey buddy, I love that you're here, but this is my house. This is my house. And unfortunately,
love your show, but gotta go.
Unfortunately, sometimes they pass on without you knowing where they've passed on, and you can't get to them. Yeah. And then you get the lovely, what I call death bugs, flies, which is basically scientifically they're known as blow flies. I'm being serious. You can Google it if you don't.
Is that you?
I'm shoe fly compared to. And they're about this big. They're black, and they kind of got that greenish thing to them. And they buzz like you'll never like. Buzz. And as soon as that's in the house, man, that's the other thing that gets me. Like, I'll be like all calm, and it always seems to be in my because my basement. You've been in my house. Like my basement's right here. So if one comes up, it always goes right to the bathroom because the window's right there. Mm-hmm. And it seems like as soon as I go to the bathroom to do anything, I have to hear buzz, and I'm like, oh my God. Because it's not a normal fly. It doesn't just go. It's and you're like, oh my God, this is the biggest fly I've ever. Like it's like The Fly. It's like the movie The Fly.
Yeah.
Where it's like so loud, and I get all, and then I have like a fly swatter, and I have to like hunt this. Then I become obsessed. Then I become like Griswold and become like crazy trying to kill this fly in my house. God. Oh no! One year I had it really bad though. I had like a nest I didn't know. I had like paper down but only 1 year, thank God. Yeah. And I had to leave the basement light on, so they didn't come upstairs. They stayed downstairs. But I put like 4 fly paper. Fucking things were full. I was like, oh my God, what did I have? It happens. Especially when you live in a house for like 30 years already. I've been in my house for 30 years. It happens, but those things they don't tell you. They didn't tell me that when I was 16 that's the crap I had to deal with. Like when I thought buying a house was easy, they didn't tell me about like little friends like invading your house. And you go through your house and you can like make sure the house is like perfect. They find a way. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, nasty. Oh. And but they're not gross because...
Do you look in the toilet before you use it?
Oh, every time. Oh, there's no way. Oh, yeah. There's no way that I am one of those people like, there was a 6-foot snake in the thing and he didn't know and he got bit right in. I'm like, no. I'm always like...
Switch it around a little bit.
I do. In my house, I flush before I go. Because there's no way. There's no way. No way.
Well, you know what taught me to do that?
A 6-foot snake?
No. It wasn't even something scary.
What?
back in the day when I was a kid, they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Yeah.
commercial
Yeah,
where they
like,
came through the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want that.
Teenage Turtles pop in and be like, oh, excuse you.
Yeah, I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's real.
Oh, my gosh.
And ever since then, I've been looking.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Well, I don't know how people don't. I don't even know how some people, like, you hear stories, like, woman sits down and finds whatever in the toilet. I'm like, how did you find this in the toilet? Like, this should have been like you walked in the room and went, oh, shit, there's something in my toilet. I have it. Like,
I no longer have to use it.
Yeah. Again, here's my house key. You own it. Bye. I'm moving someplace else.
Right.
No way.
No.
You can't pay me enough for that stuff. Like, I always love people or did you see that one person? I didn't know I had a bee problem. And they opened the bathroom. It's like the whole house is pure, like a net. It was a wasp. And I was like, did you not go to the bathroom for the last, 10 years? Like, this thing's all
You didn't hear it?
I know. It's like, I don't get certain people that are like, oh, well, that's the 5th bathroom. I don't use that one. I use the other 4. You're like, what? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know
people with money just...
No, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but the lady's like, oh, I didn't know there was a problem. The guy opens the door. He's like, the whole room was like a giant thing.
This is your problem, man.
Oh my God. And when you said the toilet was clogged, this is not what I was thinking. I would have been like, F you. No way. I don't understand. The only thing that I can think of that I don't check on a daily thing is the sun porch, but I feel like it's a weekly thing for me. There's a point because I just don't go on my sun porch, so it's kind of like more of a storage thing now. Like I have curtains up, and then I just kind of put, shit in there. No, I have like but it's like I have shelves and stuff. I put stuff in there, but I don't need to go there every friggin' minute. So I usually once a week I go in there and make sure nothing's going on in there. Like my luck, there's a raccoon family having a couple beers or something.
They're playing cards. They walk in.
Did I tell you about the raccoon situation I had in my house one time?
No.
Literally,
they were playing cards
I was in the bathroom and I heard this squeaking noise. So I text my mom because they live right now. Do you hear that noise? They're like, oh yeah, and I'm on the phone. Like that's how loud it was. And I put the phone. She goes, oh, I think those are raccoons. And so I took I had one of those real big industrial. Your dad had one of those big lights that do like 100 whatever watts everywhere, and I put it up, and you could see like 5 sets of eyes looking at me in a tree. The sucker runs all the way down, starts running towards the window, and I start getting scared, thinking it's a raccoon. It can climb, even though my bathroom window is up high. Like it's like you can't be on the ground.
Right.
But I think like raccoons can climb. Like I'm shutting the window. Like, oh my God, this thing's attacking me. Like, I thought these things were supposed to be scared of light. Like, I basically put the sun in his face. Like, charged right at me. Just kept coming right towards the light. I was like, I don't know why that scared the hell out of me. I was like, this guy's going to come into my... What the... I'm like, closing the window. I'm like, close all the other windows. Because it's summertime. I'm like trying to take fans out, trying to put... I'm like locking down like winter. I was like, Pa, get the gun. Old Yella's coming at me. He got the rabies. Like, oh my God, it was coming right at me. I was like, no one even tells me.
Did you run?
I don't. Hi, Raymond. Did I? If we were running about with the raccoon, I did lock up. I was scared shit. I really was because I've never had something, scary. And it was a good size one, like small dog size, like not. I just didn't expect it that big and just coming right at me. And then, of course, in my head, I'm like, raccoons can climb. So me being off the ground means Jack. It's not like a dog.
Yeah.
Because when a dog, he's not going to jump through, I guess you would call it a second-story window, if you will. Like, you know what I mean? Even though it's the first floor, but
it's high enough.
It's high enough because the back is a little lower, if that makes sense, like the ground.
Yeah.
And I just was thinking, like, oh, shit, like... I remember Marin was little. What's wrong, Dad? I'm like, Marin, pray to Jesus. I was like, oh.
Who's Jesus?
I'm like looking out the window, and I'm like, and of course, once you pose the window, you can't because the light reflects back, and you're just like, oh, I'm getting overrun by 5, like, because they're screaming now. They're making all these weird noises, and I'm like, I remember Jay Lee saying, I think they're doing your mating call. I'm like, I think they're doing the Scottish charge.
I just wanted to know if you were aware that your car warranty was expired.
Yeah, that's when he came over. He was like, hey. I was like, no, you go away. That, I have to say, the scariest thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no. This is when I was really young.
I want to tell you this ghost
Okay, go ahead. Tell me the ghost story. Go ahead.
It didn't happen to me, but you know the Valley Inn?
Yes, I do.
You know how it's haunted?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm really good friends with the owners who own it.
Okay.
And
wait a minute. The owners own it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I realized
Hear that, town? The owners own it.
Anyways, and it was Christmas Eve. And so...
Why does it always have to be a holiday? Did you notice that? Like, it's always got to be something like your big day, your big something. Yeah,
right.
Screw this. I'm already...
So the restaurant was closed.
Okay.
And she sent her husband and her 3 boys to go Christmas shopping because they haven't done it yet.
All right.
For her or whatever.
Right. For whatever.
And
family.
she went to the basement to start wrapping all the gifts for him because the kids were young. Big mistake.
I assume the basement's furnished for you to go downstairs because it's not.
I don't know.
It has to be because there's no way you go downstairs to a like grimy.
Yeah.
With the boiler. No, not the one you have. Yeah. A little more light.
That's what gives me light.
Not the one that lights up. It flickers. Your mom's watching. You should be ashamed. She has a gas motor on, don't worry. It's not electric. Go ahead.
So she's wrapping the gifts, right? And then it's been a little bit, and she starts to hear the footsteps. So she's like, oh, that's cool. They're home. Goes upstairs. Nobody's there. She's like, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Runs back to the basement. I was like, why would you run to the basement?
I know. That's again, it has to be furnished. This has to be furnished. There's no way it's just like a boiler, a cooler, like and shelves, and like a
that's where
crappy like cement floor. If you catch my drift, there's no way, or dirt floor. You know it has to be more finished than that.
Right.
Probably has fluorescent lights, fully lighted, probably clean floor. There's no way that would be like.
And she just like continues, and then like when they came home, she was like, I thought you guys were home a while ago, and you weren't. Because she heard like multiple footsteps, and she thought she heard talking. I've done
that. In my house, I swear to God, and it's always when I'm in bed, so I don't know if it's my mind. Again, this is the whole mind thing.
Yeah.
But I swear I've heard people walk upstairs. And then now I have carpets upstairs.
Yeah.
So that should be impossible. Like the rest of my house is wooden, but it's impossible. But I swear I've heard the house, and I just kind of go, it's settling.
Yeah.
It's settling. Because I've even though I don't live, well, my rooms upstairs don't get used as much as they used to, as you know.
Yeah.
Because my room used to be one of the rooms upstairs. So I know it's a haunt because I used to sleep up there all the time. So unless something was going on. Like...
But there was a time that we ate dinner there. It was me, Kelsey, and then her parents.
Yeah.
And we sat by the fireplace, and it was winter. So he goes to light the fire, and he can't get it to work. So he's like, you know what, screw it, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And he's probably messing with the flu. And
so it just doesn't light. He's like, whatever. And he goes and bartends, because that's what he does there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just,
Oh,
and I was like,
I'm out. So I'm not even...
We were right next to it.
I literally am not a brave... I'm not...
I think I need to take my food to go now.
I am not that guy. Like, I'm not that guy. I admit, when I'm in that moment, I'm like... Oh, gosh. Like, I'm not... My friend... This is... This is a story that this friend swears by, but... I have to be honest, I think there's a little something to this story that maybe they didn't know happened to them during the party. They were driving home and they could have sworn they saw a girl walk out and then sit in front of them on near Breton Point. Like, you know how you go when you go Breton Point and you kind of then you kind of turn that corner, and then that's like that fishing thing over there. Like there, they said some late girl came out, sat all in white, and sat in front of her car, and she sat there and she just cried until it disappeared, and then she drove. And I was like, like, you went to a party. She's like, I went to a party. I was like, you got spiked and you just didn't know. Like, I was like so convinced to make it anything but what it is. But I don't know. I do believe in ghosts, but I don't. There's moments where it's like, or no, you know what I did get sold on? I dated a girl whose mother was a psychic. Yeah. 100%, like, right?
A medium?
Like, and she was trying to tell me, like, she was like, I'll tell you stuff you don't, like, and I was big on, especially at the beginning, tell me something that only I know. That was my big thing, because like I dated her daughter, so it was like, okay, I've told your daughter a lot, but there's a lot of secrets I have, like stupid stuff. But I was like, did this lady nail me? And the first day of meeting me, sat down. I swear, I never told anybody, and I've told the story 100 times, even to my parents now. Now, when I was in 7th grade, I rode my bike to Newport. Now, that's a long way to ride. Yeah. And we went to 40 Steps. And I had a pair of Vans on. And I went to go look at the waterfall. And I slipped on the wet, and I fell into the water. And I was holding onto a rock. I was crying because I was basically being swept away. Yeah. And a guy with a camera, which I thought was a reporter, because I remember I'm in 7th grade, so you're just assuming things, came down and basically gave me a piece of his like camera, like the strap, because it was long, but he kind of held the camera, like, because it's not hooked on, and he pulled me out, and I ran. Like, I just ran because I wasn't supposed to be there. Like, my parents think I'm in Portsmouth. Yeah. And I'm in Newport. Because that's, it's early, it's the late 80s. Yeah. Right? So I'm living life, if you know what I mean. Get on the bike. Now, I have stain on my shirt. My shoes are like, so bad that they actually bleeds into my socks because my shoes are so soaked. If you, I get back to his grandma's house, the kid that I was with, and he's like, what's going on? What's wrong with you? I said, I need to get back to your grandma's house. We took all my clothes. I was down to just my tidy whities at the time, threw everything into the dryer at grandma's, at his grandma, not mine, and like dried all the clothes. We didn't even wash them. I just wanted them dry so I didn't look like I had just fallen into the ocean. Right. But I had like ripped myself up, and I had just said playing hard because I was, not that I was a boy, but boys playing outside, and you get messed up. I never told anybody. And everyone said, why didn't you tell anybody? I said, because loose lips sink ships. And the last thing I needed my parents to know, or anyone to hold over my head, was that I was in Newport when I wasn't supposed to be. Because my friend didn't even see me fall. My friend was just like, what happened? Like, you're soaking wet. And I was just like, oh, let's get out of here. So he had no clue. Yeah. So I'm the only one who knew this. I kept the secret. I am dating a girl. I am a junior in high school. Never told the story. Because it's one of those things is loose lips. No one knows. She sat down. She told me to take certain cards, do all the, I don't know. I remember I'm now 47. This happened when I was a junior in high school. I was 16, 17. She takes the cards and she says, I see something. And I said, oh, yeah, what do you see? And I'm cocky 17-year-old, if you know what I mean. Yeah, okay, what did you see? I don't know. I see something with you and you're soaking wet. And I'm like, okay, doesn't mean a thing. Go on. Something with the number 40? And did you fall down some steps? I swear to God. The girl I was dating said I went white. And she's like, I remember this day. Christopher, you okay? Are you all right, Naz? Naz, you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. Go on. And she's like, and your shoes are, and I even told you this spot, right? She goes, something with blue suede shoes. I had Vans that were two-tone blue and black suede shoes. I was one of the very first ones in this area to have those suede shoes, and I thought they were the coolest things. And no one knew about it. Like she would never know about them because I didn't fit in those shoes anymore. Like I hadn't even worn those. Right. I basically, after that, because of the water being so bad, it actually bled out so much color off the suede that I actually threw them away and told my mom that they got ruined playing outside. And she's like, okay, because that happened. Boys play in mud, and I just said they got ruined. And she's like, okay, because they were older already. I'm probably not as old as they should have been thrown out. But I did have like a crap, because Vans were real cheap back in those days. So you could buy I remember having no, not anymore. But when I was a kid, I remember having 5 different pairs that you kind of rotated, and I remember never telling and her saying that. And I remember saying just like this, I believe. And she goes, oh, you do? And she goes, I go, yeah. And then we took the cards, and she asked me the story, and I said, I've never told anybody. I told her that day. That's the day that my girlfriend at the time found out. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking to myself, there's no way. No one knew that. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows that story. And I, to this day, got the goosebumps. I got scared. And then her sister was a lot younger. And I was leaving the house one night because I used to go walk to her house or drive to the house later on because I dated her from basically my freshman year all the way to my senior year. So I was always at her house, and I would always leave around 9, sometimes 10 if it was the weekend, or maybe a little later on the weekend. And one time I'm about to leave, and her little sister's sitting there waving. I'm like, oh, what are you waving at? She's like, I'm waving at that guy. I'm like, what guy in the corner? And she goes, there's a guy in the corner. And I can't see nothing. It's just a corner. She goes, yeah. She goes, he's wearing a blue hat. It's kind of flat. And she described a Civil War uniform.
I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like when kids are involved with the spirit.
I swear to God. I don't listen, if I wasn't there, I tell you.
Yeah.
I tell you, I believe. I told you I was telling you stuff that I believe. Yeah. That is a true story. She sat there and explained the whole uniform, she was looking at, she was just looking at, me,
Please stop.
Stop. She's wearing a red sweatshirt with white
writing. That's all the time we have today.
It was so realistic that I was
I hate when kids are involved.
And she wasn't little though.
I don't care.
No, I mean she wasn't 3 and whipped it. She was I think 8, 7.
That's still young.
And it was just and she just. Yeah, he's wearing this and he's wearing that, and I'm just okay. We actually, because her older sister, when I was dating, was curious, and brought home pictures because we had encyclopedias and stuff, not internet back then. Because this is roughly 92, 91, 92, maybe 93, the oldest. Brought pictures, and she goes, "Oh yeah, he wore something like that," and it was when you looked at it and think of what she said.
Don't like that.
Yeah, I believe in that stuff. So I don't believe everyone has it, but I believe she had it. I believe her mom had it.
Yeah,
her mom's passed on for now, and I always feel there's sometimes I'll talk to because I'm still convinced. I'm hey Deja, thanks for she graduated from Portsmouth. I think she was the very first class to graduate from Portsmouth, and I always say, I still respect you, and I still remember what you said. I still I always would talk to her because she said she would travel in her. She talked about all the different planes of. There's not one heaven. There was all these planes of, and I'd go, if you're visiting, hi, I miss you. I hope I hope your daughter's doing good. Don't have to even.
Too good.
Don't need to hurt me. Oh yeah, and I just
We'll end with that.
Tonight you're not sleeping, huh? I think the lizard thing would be more scarier. I would say there's no way I would be able to. If I felt the lizard falling in my bed, there's no way. I'd jump up it's again.
I didn't want to wake Kelsey.
I could care less. I throw it on Kelsey. I'd be hey, it's your problem. I would just done the whole. like the blanket, you know, the blanket's on you. I was just on the, whoop. Oh my God, look at it, fell on you. So would have done that. You think I'm joking? I would have been like, bloop, oh my God.
No, I just remember forcing myself to sleep.
My luck, it would fall right on, like it'd be a big spider and I would done it, fell right on her face. I'd be like, oh, I didn't mean that.
But I'm not fixing it.
I am totally sleeping that. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Oh my God, where'd that spider come from?
What? I totally did not fling that on you.
Dude, that is like the story of my life. I've done stuff like that. I go down my grave. I will never admit it, but I've done the whole like, boop, oh my God. I forgot what I did.
I'll go down my grave. Let me tell you the story.
No, I'll tell you one my dad's done to me.
Well, you gotta hurry up.
Okay, so my dad went to go fix the lawnmower because a mouse had chewed the air pump on, like the pump thing on it. So he told me to get it down to the local store. I got a big thing of gum, chewed it, and then put it on to stop the hole from the. So we go to the place, and the guy's like, "Why is there gum melted all over?" He's like, "Oh, my jackass kid, he didn't know better. He's an idiot, doesn't know better." Yeah, that's okay. Bill came to fix the lawnmower one time. He's like, "There's so much oil." "Oh, my old father, he's an act. I don't know better."
Poor Bob.
I was like, God. Yeah, no, right. He had thrown on me with the gum. So this guy didn't even know. Oh, my jackass kid. That was it. I didn't even get the whole. I was like, oh, I bet you didn't even know he put oil in it. They put more oil in it. What a knucklehead. What a old timers. What are you going to do?
All right.
That's my end of my story.
Well, it's been real.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad I saved all these ghost stories first and not read any more.
Well, were they ghost stories or were they like real stories? Because real stories.
No, they were real.
Oh, they were real stories?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it again.
Okay.
A little bit
later.
We don't even do. These don't even have topics anymore.
No.
It's just having fun. We just chat. And I'd like to thank our big 3 people that watched us this week. This is the most ever. Thank you. Because it's usually just Ashley.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
I'm surprised she stayed.
I know. She hasn't. She's in
there.
What's that?
She's in there.
Oh, she's in there.
Yeah.
We see you. Put your pants on. We see you.
Your mom's in here.
You are pantsless and your mom's here? Your dad could be walking by the phone.
It's okay.
Can you imagine Gary now walking back going, what did he just say about me?
It's okay if mom sees it. But dad, that's
inappropriate. Well, your dad said he couldn't wait for her to leave. She could walk around with his underwear. So, he doesn't need to see you guys in your underwear, I guess, right?
All right. Peace.
All right. We're out. We'll see you next Thursday live, and we'll see you next Tuesday on YouTube.
That's rude to say to people.
You like it.
Bye.